I've got a top 4 of the lineup here. Yandy, first base. Soto, right field. Junior, third base. Bilao, second base.
I would not care if you did anything else. I don't care about a catcher. I don't care about a shortstop. I don't care about beefing up the bullpen. None of that would matter. As long as you've got Juan Soto in the lineup, rising tides lifts all boats. So
you are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Rays, your daily podcast covering everything Tampa Bay Rays. From game analysis to player interviews, we've got you covered with all the latest news and insights. My name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano,
bringing you expert analysis and passionate discussions about our beloved Rays.
Whether you're a diehard fan who vividly remembers Longo's game 162 just like us,
or you remember the early Double A days of Wade Boggs and Carl Crawford,
we're here to break down every play, every trade, and every milestone. In fact, this is our 6th season covering the Rays daily.
In every season, they've gone to the playoffs, so grab your favorite Rays gear. Oh, I should say they've gone to the playoffs every year except for 2024. I'm trying to get that out of my mind. But you can still grab your favorite Rays gear, settle in, and subscribe to our Locked On Rays YouTube channel and other podcast platforms. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays.
Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Gametime today. Kevin, what time is it?
Game time.
That's right.
All right, Ulysses, major news, or rumors, I should say, reports. How accurate they are and likely to happen, that's another question. But it is still fun to discuss. John Heyman of the New York Post reported that there's a bevy of teams, of course, interested in Juan Soto. And one of those surprising franchises is the Tampa Bay Rays, who reportedly, evidently reached out to Juan Soto expressing their interest or kicking the tires on the possibility. So when can we make the announcement? When can we give Juan Soto 500? Well, maybe not 500, 600, 650, 700 million. Somewhere between 500 to 700 million is probably what he's going to be armored for. And look, we're going to have fun with this one because the likelihood of the Rays actually landing Juan Soto are nil, but it's still fun to talk about, right?
It can be. I think so. I don't think he reaches 700 mil. I think 650 mil for 14 years for those that don't have a calculator in there in front of them. That'll be 46.4 mil a year. I think that's a lot of money. And
yes, but the Rays did cut a lot of salary at the trade deadline, and they don't have a ton of money in guaranteed commitments. And if you're able to take the Wander Franco contract out of the equation, there is hopefully some wiggle room. Of course, there's a lot of other sideshow with revenue streams as well. But hey, it doesn't hurt to ask and talk to his agent and see what's what.
No,
and maybe up the bidding price for another franchise or two, namely in the AL East.
Ultimately, I think that's what you can do. You can kind of play spoiler, a free agent spoiler, and put that bidding a little bit higher. The only way that I could see this, again, by the way, we should have premised, I think you did, ain't happening. But let's just talk about it. Yes. If it were in the neighborhood of being close to happening, the Rays have the advantage of short-term, too much money that no other team could come close to. Like, if the Rays wanted to, they have enough money for $50 million a year.
2-year, $100 million. Something of that ilk.
Yeah, like, we can make you rich, very rich short-term, help us out. But I think this is not the right time for this kind of move, because like the whole stadium situation, it just kind of, I know that Neander came out with some quotes there saying like, "Oh, we don't believe that the stadium situation is going to be that tough for us to talk to free agents, and because they can just talk to people that who've been in the organization." And like, I get it, you can get some word of mouth reputation, but people need to know where they're going to be playing. Like, you can't just say we're not going to have any sort of. I feel like Neander's just saying that, and of course he would say that to put on a brave face, but I think we all should not believe that, because I mean, how can you say that it's not going to matter when it's literally where you play, where your family's going to be playing? Like, it's a very big difference if you're going to be staying in Orlando in Disney Wide World of Sports, or you're going to be staying in Clearwater, or you're going to stay in Tampa. It's a very big difference for who. Right. The game ends at 10:30 p.m. You stay an hour, 11:30 p.m. It's a very different drive from Steinbrenner to wherever you have your house to from Orlando or whatever, or Sarasota or Port Charlotte, whatever it is.
On the flip side of things, maybe not necessarily for Franco, but maybe, or not Franco. Oh my gosh, I'm getting my players mixed up. Franco made headlines in not so good ways. We'll probably have to talk about that on another episode. The going gets tougher for him by his own doing.
Yeah,
apparently. But the option for a short-term deal, if Soto and his team doesn't like the idea, or doesn't like the 10, 12-year guarantee, the numbers just aren't lining up, it would maybe, if the idea is the Rays are going to play at Baycare or in Dunedin or some other minor league park, your offensive numbers are going to be inflated just by the way those parks are built out and situated. So, and I would think that teams would see through that. And I'm sure they've got equations for, okay, well, if you're playing in a true major league ballpark versus half your games in a minor league ballpark,
right?
But those numbers can really grab your attention and grab the fan base's attention and grab the owner's attention to maybe get more money and more of what you're looking for at the end of the day. So maybe it's not necessarily what Soto's looking for, but maybe another mid-tier free agent has that in their mind as well. Plus, you still have, no matter if you're playing in Orlando, Dunedin, St. Pete, Clearwater, Tampa, Port Charlotte, the no state income tax, I feel, is a benefit as well. And look, I think we're all in agreement here. We'd love to see Juan Soto in a Rays uniform because it would make everybody's job that much easier. Literally plug and play. He has been, if not the most dominant hitter over the last several years. And this was actually his best year by WAR and overall numbers, if you look at it. And I would not care if you did anything else. I don't care about a catcher. I don't care about a shortstop. I don't care about beefing up the bullpen. None of that would matter. As long as you've got Juan Soto in the lineup, rising tides lifts all boats. So let me just put that out there and in the way. But I wonder if you will follow my conspiracy theory here of if there was a chance for the Rays to get Juan Soto and they actually came close to landing him, there's a lot out there that is still a question mark. Pinellas County, they can't seem to get their stuff together. They have new elected officials. The bonds haven't been dispersed or haven't been agreed to upon yet. Could this be a play to maybe get, from Stu Sternberg's sake, get courted by another city and state and get help with additional owners?
I think it's all in play. And we had already put these conversations to rest. We were done. And now these old issues are starting to creep up back again. And I feel like I'm getting fatigued out because once you do something in your life and you think you're done with it, you can kind of, okay, breathe and let's keep going. And now this is coming back up again. We already solved this issue. There was a whole thing here to stay. Well, now if you don't play in Pinellas, now you're getting threats that, hey, we're not going to give you the money though. We're not going to give you the money. It's so when we have conversations of would Juan Soto like to come over here? Well, Juan Soto is not an idiot, and he knows what's going on with this. Like we don't even know if they're going to be here in 3-4 years. So it's fun to talk about, but it makes it a little bit more difficult when you know that the reality of it is that we thought we knew that this stadium thing was happening, but now it's back up to, well, will it? Won't it?
Yeah, it's a problem for sure. And that aside, I think that we need to focus on why it wouldn't happen and why it's not going to happen.
You have to make some time for yourself to make your body feel good, and you can get a line and do all these things without any scheduling hassles by going to The Joint. If it's after work, if it's during the evening, maybe during the weekend, you can go to The Joint and get the care that you need. And also, no insurance hassles. They've got budget-friendly care that you can get the care that you need and you want for your body. So today, if you're a Rays fan, if you're a Bucks fan, you get this awesome deal, which means that your first visit is for $19. You can head over to Buccaneers.com, check out the contest and promotional section under the fans tab, and download this offer. Again, $19. This is a great deal for great fans. Head to thejoint.com to find your nearest Tampa area location today.
Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That is at FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. For one, the Rays have never landed the one. They've tried. They've made an effort, a full-hearted effort based on the reports that we've seen, going out and trying to land a Marcell Ozuna, going out and trying to land Freddie Freeman. Man, how much different of a complexion would this roster look like and that offense look like if one or those two guys were part of the equation? And here's the problem is with those two guys, you missed out on those two guys. And you're talking about $70 to $150 million. Now we're talking about Juan Soto. We can quadruple that. It's crazy. It is very pie in the sky. And I think ultimately Juan Soto seems to be the type of player that wants to play in front of the bright lights. That while some players maybe want to shy away from the large media and fan base attention, there is something to be said in playing in a New York or a Boston or an LA or a Chicago where everybody is wearing your jersey and you've got 35, 40, 45,000 a night going up and supporting you. And I think that is a tough thing to contend with. And as we mentioned at the top very briefly, it's the Rays' job to express interest and kick the tires on each and every player, because ultimately you're trying to build goodwill down the line. You never know what can happen, but Scott Boras represents Juan Soto. We know about the Rays' rocky relationship with Scott Boras, but maybe he represents another player that the Rays are interested in. And again, just upping the price, throwing your name in the ring, maybe will cost the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Blue Jays another $25, $50 million. You know, you at least gotta inquire, because that's your job. That's what you have to do. Even if, people might say it's a waste of time, but it's just part of the gig, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I think it's the responsibility. That's your job, to check in on them and how much they are. Like, that's your responsibility. You have to do that. If you want to daydream a little bit, I've got a top 4 of the lineup here: Yandy, first base; Soto, right field; Junior, third base; Bilao, second base. And we don't have Josh Lowe in there because I don't want lefty on lefty back to back on the lineup. But yeah, it would make that lineup so much better, so much deeper. I mean, imagine the sort of at bats that Yandy would be getting, that Junior would be getting, and you saw that with the Yankees like this year. The mere fact of being around Soto and how he handles each at bat makes the guys around in the lineup want to be better and get tips from him and see how he does it. And so their own at bats get better. Plus, the pitches that they're going to see are going to be better because the pitchers don't want to give either the person behind or in front of Soto the opportunity for Soto to make some damage. Right. So it's all like an avalanche of just putting a guy with this caliber of talent in the middle of the lineup. Oh my gosh, it would be insane.
I know, it really would be. And he was a 7.9 WAR player this past season at with 25 years old.
With
41 home runs. 41 home runs, the on-base percentage, the batting average, the slugging, the OPS plus of 178. Oh, that's my nuts. Goodness. Like, that's nuts. This is the rare case, because usually a guy hits free agency might be 28, 29, 30, 31 years old. He's only 25 years old. This is at almost as historic as the Shohei Ohtani free agency frenzy.
Right, because now you're talking not even 10 years or 12 years. You're talking 14 years. Like, that's why we're going 600 mil plus on this situation, because like you have to understand this guy, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, and I don't care about the bad glove out in the outfield. I don't care about maybe his sprint speed being in the 30th percentile. Like, it doesn't matter when you're this good. It doesn't matter. And I know some people would be like, well, actually, he would be clogging up the base paths. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
He would be unclogging the base paths by all the RBIs that he generates.
Juan Soto is worth every penny. I don't care. Oh, he's not going to be worth, 50 million at 35. Yeah, but he's worth 100 mil at 25. Yeah. So you make that trade-off. He makes every team better.
If he keeps this up for the next, 6 years, if he continues the track that he's on, he could probably retire at 31, 32, still be a first ballot Hall of Famer based on what he's done so far. And yeah,
you put these numbers again, 41 home runs in 2024. By the way, that's his highest ever. He had 35 in 2023 and he had 34 in 2019 when he won it all with the Nationals. But you put him in a minor league stadium, this man that just hit 41 at 25, he's just going to get bigger and better from 26 to like 32. Okay. Right. Dude, you give him like 2-3 years, this man's hitting 50 plus.
Yeah. He's giving you 50 dingers at least and like 45 doubles. That's what you'd be dealing with. So the other teams that have shown interest based on John Heyman's report, the Yankees, of course, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, the Giants, and the Rays. And those are just, if each and every team should be interested of them to some extent for sure. But who do you ultimately think lands him at the end of the day?
I want to say the Mets. I want to put it out there. I think it's going to be the Mets. I think Steve Cohen has been planning for this. They haven't really gone on big ticket items since this Soto sweepstakes started when the trades went to San Diego from the Nationals. So I think, and he has the most money. Like he's not going to get anybody, but a Juan Soto Steve has the pockets to match everybody's offer and then go plus. Nobody else has that. He has.
He doesn't want to get beat.
He
doesn't want to lose as far as spending money. It's almost a competition to spend money for him.
And exactly, yeah, it's like a competitive race. But if I'm Juan Soto, and I just had a great year with the New York Yankees, a career year, honestly, and I left New York, and I love having Judge behind me because, boy, I'm gonna get some really nice pitches from time to time.
Yes.
All of that was great. And the pinstripes, and I love it as a Yankee. If everything goes well and you're Juan Soto and you retire as a Yankee, this would be my pitch if I were Steve Cohen. I'm like, you can have a great career as a Yankee. The problem is as a Yankee, you're just going to be one of many. Right. No one's going to talk about you over Mickey Mantle. No one's going to talk about you over Babe Ruth or Joe DiMaggio or Derek Jeter.
Right.
No one. Like, you're going to be one of the greats, but you're not going to be the greatest Yankee. That's done. That conversation has been over with. As a Mets, you can be the greatest Met. You can have your Hall of Fame career here, and you will be known as Mr. Met. I don't care about Tom Seaver. I don't care about Strawberry. I don't care about anybody else. Okay? You can be that guy that represents a whole franchise in New York City. That would be my, big ticket. Hey, let's feed that ego, baby, for Juan Soto. That would be my thing.
I'm with you. Hey, I just want him out of the AL East, and I also don't want him to be with the Dodgers, because if the Dodgers land Juan Soto, we shouldn't even play the games anymore. Just give it to the Dodgers each and every single year, assuming most of their crew is able to stay healthy. So that's where it is. I'll just
question. The way you frame that, would you rather him be a Dodger or a Yankee?
Oh, man.
There's no need to look anywhere else for tickets other than Game Time. You know it. If it's comedy, concerts, sports, theater, whatever it is, Game Time has it. And they've got all-in pricing, which means that you can toggle this feature on the app to show the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. We all hate those surprise fees at checkout. Something's worth $20 and then it's up being $68.99. What the bleep happened? Well, Game Time doesn't do that to you. And they've got seat views, which means that you can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. This is my favorite, and it'll be your favorite. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Kevin, what time is it?
Game Time. That is tough. I'd like to say neither. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, maybe the Dodgers, because I'd rather see the Dodgers win it all than the Yankees win it all.
Exactly.
So maybe that's where I'm at. And just seeing the heartache of him leaving the Yankees.
Oh, that would be so sweet.
Yeah. You definitely, we don't have to play as many games against the Dodgers. So that would be a win in my book, I suppose. So, I'll be interested to see how long this hot stove runs for Soto. Like, if it's going to go down to the wire of spring training, because that's kind of been a marker in the past, I feel like, with some Scott Boras clients or just some big ticket items. Like, wasn't it pretty late when Bryce Harper signed his deal? Wasn't it pretty late when Manny Machado signed his deal?
That took forever, man.
Yeah. Like, it was like, are they even going to sign this year? Like, what's going to happen with all that? So, just wanted to throw that out there. We do have some listener comments as well on the Twitter X machine that we'll get to. We did put it out somewhat tongue-in-cheek. Well, the Rays signed Juan Soto this offseason, and miraculously 27% said yes. I don't know what Kool-Aid they're drinking, and then 73% said no. Jake Stokes says, come on, son, with a gif. Of course, not happening. Ryan Hill, our buddy, says no. Chris Snyder says No, but probably Jurickson and Profar. Yeah, we should be more focusing on the Jurickson and Profars of the world, for better or worse. Nicholas says nope, but how about you make a trade with Pittsburgh for Henry?
Okay.
NBA Bitcoiner says let's meme it into existence. And that's what we got there. So cool. Yeah, I think the only way it works is if he is really angling for a short-term deal. 2 years, $100 million, and the Rays pull the trigger on that. They know something that we don't know about the stadium. They know something we don't know about where they're going to play. Heck, I mean, at this point, I guess everything's up in the air. Maybe Nashville should be courting them. Maybe Charlotte should be courting them.
Maybe this is a great point. You can say those, empty lines if you're Neander to the press, but behind closed door meetings, it's like, hey, look, this hasn't been out there, but we are going to be playing at Steinbrenner. Hey, we're going to be playing at Dunedin. Hey, we're going to be playing at Clearwater. Don't worry. We just need to, dot the I's and cross the T's, but that's going to be it. This is where we're going to be playing. And that could be very well like what's happening, and they're not allowed to say it. Manfred did say that the stadium situation should be, or they're aiming for that conversation to end by December, by Christmas time.
Okay.
So
TikTok is right. God, I'm just salivating at Juan Soto's numbers. We'd immediately. How many games did we win this past year? 82?
80.
80? We go from an 80-win team to an 89-win team, 88-win team.
Easy.
Maybe more than that. Because honestly, I don't think the WAR reflects how much more value he would add just based on boosting the lineup and everything else in between. You're immediately a playoff team. And I'd be okay with dumping some other contracts just to have Juan Soto on the roster there. All right. In the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you tomorrow.